Hey there and welcome back to lesson 5 of the mini course on email marketing for course creators. I'm Monica and today we're tackling something that everyone in email marketing experiences, and that is unsubscribes. So let me ask you this. Have you ever sent an email, checked your stats, and saw that people unsubscribed? I'm thinking you were probably wondering, did I do something wrong? Was my email too pushy? Should I send fewer emails? I get it. Seeing people leave your list can feel personal, but here's the truth. 1. Unsubscribes are normal. 2. Not all unsubscribes are bad. And 3. If too many people do leave after you send emails, yes, that is a problem. But it's not usually the case. Now, by the end of this lesson, you'll understand why people unsubscribe and when it's actually a bad thing, the biggest mistakes that drive subscribers away, and how to keep your subscribers engaged and excited to hear from you. Let's get into it. So let's start with this. People will always unsubscribe from your list, and that's okay. Some unsubscribes are actually good, and here's why. They weren't the right fit in the first place, or they just completed their goal. They don't need you anymore, and that is fine. Maybe they signed up out of curiosity, but they never even intended to buy. You can go back to lesson 2 in this mini series to find out why that might be happening. So all of this is fine. You don't really need people who are never engaging anyway. A smaller engaged list is far more powerful and effective than a large unengaged one. If someone unsubscribes, it means that they weren't going to actually become a client at this point in time anyway, and that is okay. But there's times when unsubscribes become a problem. And if you're getting a high unsubscribe rate, like more than 1-2% per email, it is time to investigate what's happening. So let's go over the real reasons people hit that unsubscribe button. Reason number 1, they forgot who you are. If someone subscribes to your list, but they don't hear from you for weeks or months, when you finally send an email, they might think, who is this? I don't remember signing up. This feels kind of spammy, random. I'll just unsubscribe. So here's how to fix that. 1. Send a welcome sequence immediately after someone subscribes. Stay consistent with your email frequency and don't let your list go cold. That doesn't mean you should be selling all the time. Remember, email is more than just selling. Email is about building trust and building a relationship. So even if you don't have anything to sell, continue to send valuable content. Reason number 2 is you're sending too many sales emails. So if every email you send is buy this, enroll now, sell and soon, people will eventually tune you out. And nobody just likes feeling like, they're being sold to all the time. So here's how to fix it. Follow the 80-20 rule. 20% of your emails are sales emails, 80% of your emails are value-based emails. And I talk about this on my channel, so feel free to go search for it. If not, just go check out the description because you'll see a link to that. Now, your emails, even if they're sales emails, they should feel natural. So remember to use stories and insights and benefits instead of just buy now language. Reason number 3, they don't find your emails valuable. So if your emails are generic, repetitive, or feel like, filler content, fluff, subscribers will lose interest fast because people stay subscribed when they feel like they're getting something valuable out of this. So here's how to fix it. Every email should have a purpose. Before sending, ask yourself, will this email help my subscribers in some way? And as you can see, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your audience. Now, another way to make sure your emails are valuable is to provide quick wins. So give small actionable tips they can use right away. That way, over time, the value they get from you builds up to the point where they feel like, I've been getting so much from this brand, right? Like I used your tip and then it got me this. That's awesome. And I can give you personal examples from sharing my podcast episodes or strategies like I do in this mini series. And I got messages from people saying, hey, I did that and that actually made me money. That's crazy. That's awesome. Now, here are a few examples of how you can do this with your emails. So if you teach business English, you can send an email that says 3 power phrases you can use in your next meeting and how to pronounce them. People love bite-sized actionable insights and they'll look forward to your next emails because if you hit relevancy, context, and actionable tips, you get an email that is very hard to say no to. Reason 4, you're sending emails that feel generic or impersonal. Now, if your subscribers feel like they're just another number on your list, they won't stick around. Emails that sound robotic or, mass-produced, like using templates without really bothering to adapt them to your audience or to your tone of voice, fail in creating a real connection. So here's how to fix it. First, use segmentation, and we talked about segmentation in the previous lesson. That means you can send targeted emails based on interest, behavior, and where they are in the buyer's journey. You can also make your emails conversational. So write like you're talking to a real person, not just sending a corporate newsletter. Here's an example. Instead of saying, here's my new course, click to enroll, you can try, I was talking to a student last week and they told me their biggest struggle is this. That's exactly why I created this course, to help people just like Mike overcome problems like that. If that sounds like you, then I think you might want to check this new course out. Here's a link where you can find all the details. You can just use some curiosity based and some storytelling to get people in. Reason number 5, they're not ready to buy and feel like they don't belong. Now, if someone joined your list out of curiosity, they might not feel ready to invest in a course. So they might even feel out of place, especially if there's a mismatch between your lead magnet promise and what they're actually seeing on the email list. Here's an example. Let's say you help financial advisors to improve their processes so they can better serve their clients. But your lead magnet promised 10 great tips to improve your financial situation or 10 great financial tips for seniors. Now, you're not making it specific. Who is it for? If you're teaching financial advisors, but your lead magnet talks to their end customer, you're going to get their end customer coming in. They're going to look at your emails and they're not going to understand much because financial advising is a very specific industry with their specific terminology and quite advanced scenarios. So you're going to see people who are like, I'm opening, I don't understand what's happening. That's the same when it comes to teaching English. And let's say you are talking to people who are at least a B1 level of fluency. People who are just starting, like maybe A1, they're gonna have a hard time understanding what's happening or putting things into practice. That's why it's important to have segmentation early on, because that way you make sure that the people who are not a great fit for you right now, they just get some other content. Now, you can also offer multiple pathways, right? Similar to what I've just said before. Some people might not be ready for your high-ticket course. They might not be ready for your B2 fluency course if they're just starting out. But they might want a mini course. They might want something that will eventually get them there. And it's in your interest too to develop some of your efforts into getting some of your audience ready for when they would most benefit from what you have to do. So whether that's investing like 20% of your efforts into creating some kind of content and engagement and relationship with people who are not there yet, that's still a good strategy. Because in an ideal world, we would be able to just have our ideal clients on an email list. But the bigger you get, the harder it becomes. Segmentation helps to solve that problem, that when you do have a very specific course for a very specific audience, you can just send those emails to that specific audience and avoid, scaring away other people who are not ready yet. But that still means you need to do some of the work early on. So this is why we have this mini course. So if you teach Instagram marketing, don't just say, join my $500 Instagram growth masterclass. You can say something like, not ready for the full masterclass yet? That's fine. Start with my free guide, 10 Instagram growth hacks you can implement today. So give people ways to engage with your content based on, their readiness level. So now that you know why people unsubscribe, let's focus on how you can keep people engaged. The ones who will eventually buy from you. So first, create a content plan and stay consistent. Don't let months go by without emailing. Even if you're not selling, just send valuable content regularly, and I'm sure you have more than enough content. Now, set a schedule. Once a week, twice a month, just stick to it. Now, next is keep it personal and conversational. So ask your subscribers questions and encourage replies. You can also share stories, insights, and real-life experiences from you and from your students, not just promotions. You can also give them a really good reason to stay. You can actually run exclusive subscriber-only content like challenges, giving them PDFs, live Q&As, or email series that only they get. That way you're letting your list know that they're part of a community, they're part of the inner circle, and they have an opportunity to talk to you. They're not just another person on your marketing list. So we're getting close to the end of this lesson. Here's what I want you to do next. 1. Look at your last few emails. Are they engaging, valuable, and personal? If not, what can you do to improve? The other thing is, if you're afraid of unsubscribes, just shift your mindset and focus on attracting and keeping the right people instead. Now, if this lesson helped you, just hit the like button and drop me a comment. I would love to know. And of course, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. That's it. See you soon.